me is the mansion that my great-great-grandfather bought almost 100 years ago for $7,000. Over the last 100 years, pretty much everything in the house started falling apart. So as you can see behind me, I dove into the biggest project I've ever took on, which is to do a 100% restoration and remodel of the entire thing. And by 100%, I mean 100%, the entire thing. The attic, the upstairs, the downstairs, the basement, and even a part of the house that is not even here yet. Did somebody say underground movie theater? So this brings us to our project for today. Recently, we dug a big ramp going down to the basement wall, then we cut a hole through the basement wall so that way we can get equipment and materials in and out. We currently have the Dingo sitting inside of here, so we are going to be using the Dingo today to be tearing into this dirt floor. With the old basement floor that was built with the house, they had about this much concrete in the floor. We want to put in about this much concrete, and we want to maintain our same ceiling height as what we had before. So in order for us to be able to add more concrete, we need to dig this dirt down lower, so then that way when we pour our thicker concrete, we keep the same height. We don't want to be bonking our head on the ceiling. So today we are going to be taking out about this much dirt throughout the entire basement floor. It's going to be a big project. So my tool of choice is going to be the Dingo. I don't know how big the bucket is on this, but it's going to be a whole lot better than doing it with the shovel. So I'm going to be going around scooping up parts of the floor, bringing it over to our opening in the wall, where we are going to have another skid loader sitting out here where we can dump in the bucket, and then that skid loader is going to put it all in a big pile. And while I am doing that, Justin and Roman are going to be doing the most fun job of it all. Justin and Roman are going to be working on one of those just 100-year-old house things that nobody knows why they did it. They just did it. When it comes to the foundation wall and the entire basement, it goes all the way down to my feet, except for the part that was underneath of the stairs. So Justin's already got the stairs pulled out, and as we can see, it is just dirt. So Justin and Roman are going to be digging in this corner. They're going to try to get all the way to the back wall, so that way we can get this foundation wall exposed. And then hopefully we'll be able to start getting things prepared, so that way we can pour new concrete, and then we can fix this wall, and we can get rid of this dirt that used to be underneath of the stairs.
And this is going to be a lot of fun, because I did not realize Justin is going to help me give me $100, because we made a bet that by the end of the day I can dig all of this out by myself and he'll give me $100 for it.
You gotta be careful. Justin's a shyster. If he said buy yourself and he's helping you, then when you get done at the end of the day, he's gonna say, no, I said buy yourself, and since I helped you, you don't get it. So you may want to change your clause a little bit.
Yeah, we need to sign a contract.
Have you ever seen anything like this before, though? Like, why did they just stop the foundation wall? That's not even remotely close to below frost line.
Save on concrete. Obviously it doesn't carry anything anymore, but it stood here for so long.
Did you think about the fact that you're going to be helping Roman win his bet against yourself?
I said to start, he's doing it by himself.
So then what are you going to be working on?
So he'll give me 50 and I'll give him 50.
Either way, I'm ahead.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is what we're going to be working on today. If we have a really good day, we will have the entire dirt floor 10 inches down by the time we call it quits for the night. So I'm going to fire up the Dingo, get this thing warmed up. I'm probably going to need some diesel fuel in it. And then we're going to get to work. I'm about 20 minutes into digging now, and I hit my first spot that I have at grade. So about right here is the height I want to get down to, so we can see how much I've already taken off. There was a center footing for a pole in the middle of this room, so I'm going to have to figure out how to dig below that to be able to get that chunk of concrete out. And then over there we have another chunk of concrete, but I should basically be at grade beyond that. And then we'll get everything smooth, finalized out when we get it all down. It's not going to be perfect right now, but at least I know roughly the height of this. I want to get the rest of everything added. It's a little bit tight wiggling the Dingo around in here. We'll get it. It's not as fast as a big skid loader, that is absolutely for sure. But it's a lot better than a shovel. Quick little break from running the Dingo for me. Justin and Roman are still working in the basement. I'm out in the field right now with Brandon from Champion Seed, and we are going to be looking at some corn and bean fields, so I'll be back in the house in a little bit when we get this done.
Well, here's what we have. We cannot dig any further because we did not want to compromise the integrity of this structure. So we're gonna just have to stop here. But what we'll have to do is shave a nice, neat, like a wall or a cliff, so there's something that will block our concrete from pouring out. Then we'll dig this all the way flush to the exterior, nice and flat. And also we'll form our footer, which is going to be a deeper, wider part right over here. And only then, after we pour it, it's going to set. We're going to be able to keep digging forward and doing the same stuff further down the road that way.
Shut up and dump that.
Okay, Brandon from Champion Seed just left. I am now back at the house. We got rained on just a little bit, but I think in the house it should be good. Justin, how you making out down there?
Oh, down to the foot, digging the footings in.
All right, we're gonna Dingo again. Ah, it's raining on me again! You stole my Dingo!
What, flamingo?
Flip-flints, you stole!
Flintstone? Shisto?
Ти вкрав мого Дінго.
Ні, я не крав того Дінго.
You did too steal my Dingo! Honestly, once we pulled back the stairs over here, I was amazed. The entryway to the house was always 15 degrees colder than the rest of the house during the winter time. And it makes perfect sense. If our footing only goes down right there, ground level is literally right where it goes from the blocks to the whole wall. So that line right there, that is ground level. So it was like 2 feet underground. If that. So all that cold, moist soil right underneath the basement stairs, just wood being the thing between. And when we got rain, oh, just think of all the moisture that was under there that was just bleeding into the house. So that would explain why it was so cold up there. But kind of what the plan here is, Justin and Roman got this dug out, and Roman has dug underneath of the foundation wall now, and he's actually digging out a footing as we speak, and then he's making this wall nice and smooth, and he made a square corner. We are going to build forms right over all this, and then we are going to pour a footer, and then we'll pour the wall all at the same time. And then this corner of the house will be supported because we think that this little baby 18-inch, 24-inch wall goes all the way around for this corner up underneath of the door and then partly down the other side of the house. So we need to get this supported. Once that concrete's in there and sets up a little bit, then we'll be able to dig further, dig out another spot, probably pour 4 feet, then hit the corner, then pour another 4 feet, and then do that, and then probably have to do exactly what we're doing right now over on the other side, and then we'll have to dig all that dirt out and everything else, and that's probably going to be a whole can of worms and a half, but it is going to be nice because we're no longer going to have this bare dirt underneath the entryway of the house. It'll stay warmer, it'll stay drier, it'll keep mice out, it'll keep bugs out, it'll keep rats out. It'll just be a beautiful thing. We are officially 1 day's worth of work into this, and this is what we've got done. This room is coming along nicely. We have most of it down to the 10-inch depth that we needed to get it to. If anything, this end is a little bit low. Now, we did run into a couple problems. The old sewer line runs straight out right here, and then there's an elbow underneath, and it runs straight along. Now, they must have planned on putting something right here years ago, perhaps a toilet. But when I got digging here, there was just a piece of wood over this. I cannot dig any deeper. That is cast, so this is as deep as I'm going to be able to get right here, at least with the Dingo. We can get a shovel in here, but I might be pretty close to grade, so I might not have to do anything. But when we get a little further along, there's a huge rock right here. Either that's a rock or a chunk of concrete. Either way, I could not dig underneath of it, so that is going to have to stay there. And just beyond that, we have a random footing that was in the middle of the floor. No idea what that went to, but I can't move that. I was able to get a big one out over there. It was just like the one that was underneath of this pole. Like, you expect something like that to be there because it's literally holding up the house. But this one, there was nothing there. No pole, nothing. So why we have a massive chunk of concrete there, I don't know, but that kind of compromised my ability to get into this corner a little bit. We will be able to get in here with some shovels. But then also the big chimney for the house used to be right here, and there is a huge footer underneath there. So we're about 2 inches above grade on this. We're maybe a little high right there. We're about 2 inches above grade on that footing, and same with that rock. So if we have to be a little bit shallow with those, we have to be a little bit shallow with those. I still think 4 inches of rock is going to be enough. It's mostly just to allow water to be able to run through it if it needs to, or if water gets under there, then it will be able to flow its way over to the drains to be able to get outside and get out from underneath the house. That way we don't have waterlogged soil. So that is the whole purpose of the rock, and it just makes probably a more consistent bed for us to lay concrete on. But we got this room done. This hole over here took me like an embarrassing long amount of time to dig out. But we're ready to pour another footer in there as soon as we're ready to do that. So now we just have this whole area, which is a little bit smaller than this room. Just this room has all these poles that we have to go around, and then we still have to maintain our ramp to go up. We have the old well over there. We still got some concrete in the corner. It's going to be a little bit tighter over here, and we did not get to this room at all. But this one shouldn't be too bad. It's big, wide open, and the soil actually looks fairly soft in here. I will point this out over in this room. If you look across the floor, there's a couple different types of soil. There's this really hard clay. Like, literally, this is like potter's clay. Look at that. You can see my fist prints inside of it. But then you take a step over, and then all of a sudden, look at this. This is like sand. Literally like beach sand, dark beach sand. But then you get to some spots where it's like lime. So I don't know, years ago when they were digging this basement, if perhaps maybe they found big rocks or something down here, and so they had big craters when they took the rocks out. If they would have backfilled those with some type of sand or lime, or if this is just natural to the area. I mean, some of this sand is literally like, look at that kind of sand, which I guess when we've done soil testing on the farm, we have found sand when you get about 10 feet down. There's just like a 2 foot thick layer. So probably what that is. And I should mention that once I got everything down to grade, or at least as close to grade as I could get it, then I back drug everything, and then I drove back and forth over with the Dingo to pack it down real nice. We'll end up coming in with the Tamp to pack it even more, but the Dingo on the thinner tracks, it should pack it pretty heavy. But while I was doing that, Roman ended up heading out. But here's what he got done over here in the corner. This is all ready to be concreted up. The only thing we need to do yet is take the drill, and we need to drill into the foundation wall in the side as well as in the ceiling, and then we'll stick rebar pieces up inside of there, and then we need to make a rebar cage for in the wall as well as in the footing. And then I don't know if we're going to try to go through the outside, make some sort of hole that will go to the surface that we can pour concrete down, kind of like a little tube, and then we'll basically just be able to fill this thing all the way up. Since we are going to have a form in here, this will all be covered. We won't be able to see down in there. Or are we going to have to do that from the inside and then just kind of build the form as we go? I don't know. We're going to figure that out, but we'll get started again when everybody gets here in the morning. Buenos dias.
Morning.
Dobre ranok.
Dobre ranok.
Hey Roman, come here. I have a question for you. So I went to bed at 2:30 in the morning last night, and I didn't sleep very much. Do you have any Ukrainian remedies to have more energy?
Coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
What do you want from me then?
So last night when we stopped, we kind of eyeballed this. I know this area was the grade that we were looking for. We're definitely below it over there. We're definitely below it right here. But some of these other spots are a little questionable. So Roman just got the laser set up right now. So we got our laser line on the wall. We'll be able to use that laser line for reference on how deep we are. And we will see if we'll be done in this room or not. And then last night we also got a 1/2 inch of rain, so our ramp that we scraped out, good thing we did, is starting to fill up with a little bit of water. I guess that we're supposed to get quite a bit more rain later today, so we could potentially have another little basement lakefront property again.
Yeah, our magic number is 57 3/4, so.
And we're almost 60?
Yeah, so
Okay, so we're plenty good. What about like right here in the middle?
56 3/4, so inch high, which is not bad.
So here's the plan of attack for today. They're talking pretty big rains this afternoon. We have this footing laying wide open and the foundation wall laying wide open with the backside form being dirt. If we get a lot of rain, there's high potential that this could collapse out since there's now nothing holding it up. Roman is going to go up top. He's going to cut a hole in the ground on the surface so that way we can basically make a channel right down inside of here. And then he's going to get this all formed up with wood. He'll get all his rebar structure built on the inside. And then Roman is going to be pouring the footer and the foundation wall concrete. While he's doing that, Justin and I are going to be working on the dirt in the basement. On the side that we have flattened out, the elevations are pretty good. We just have a little cleanup work along the walls, a little cleanup work by the center pole, and then right here, the entrance going into the other room, we need to clean some stuff up. Then once we're done with that, then we will be ready to move to the next room, and then we're going to be doing a lot of work with the Dingo.
Here's a better visual of our hole. It's about 5 feet from this edge. 5 feet from this edge, the end of the slab. That's pretty much where our hole is, and probably around somewhere in the middle of it, we're gonna have to cut the chunk off and start digging down. Before I start digging inside, I thought I'll drive the piece of rebar inside so I know for sure where I need to dig instead of just guessing. But after I drove it in, it just broke through, so it means I was real close. So now we have our port of entry. We're good to go. The top is ready. Now all we have to do is scoop up all the dirt from inside that hole, put the rebar in, make our form, and then we can start mixing, and hopefully rain is not going to be too heavy that we're going to able to do that today.
Okay, Roman's gonna hand me down some plywood here. We're gonna put some plywood along this wall. It's gonna become our form, and we'll put some bracing back from this wall, and we'll start pouring.
You heard Justin.
Justin and Roman are getting everything prepared to pour concrete, and while they're doing the hard work, I'm sitting here at the table. We just got done eating lunch. I got a little bit of computer work that I'm gonna take care of, so hopefully I can get this done here to be able to help Justin and Roman with the pour, or if they got the pour under control, then I'll be able to go back to digging some more dirt underneath the house, but I gotta get this done first.
Wow, free ice cream.
Alrighty, I got done with the computer stuff, so now I am back out helping Justin and Roman. Now, it is super muddy down here. We picked up probably a half an inch over lunchtime and while I was working on the computer. But now it has stopped raining. We have an hour window before it starts up again, so we are going to try to get that concrete poured. I need to hop into the skid loader, but in order to get over there, I have to walk all the way around that side of the house, because over there is the swampy, muddy mess, and I don't want to get my feet muddier than they already are. And also, before I pull onto the gravel, I'm going to drive around in the grass a little bit, see if I get some of this mud off these tracks. Otherwise, all the bits of gravel stick in this, and then you make a ginormous mess out of the rock, and we're not trying to do that. And if it rains, then when we mark the grass up like that with mud, then it'll get washed off. Oh, just look at all that mud disappear. Not as fast as I would like it to get off the tracks, but it's slowly coming off. We're just going to keep driving circles around the yard. Look at that. We have now like half the mud we had before. Oh, I love all these big, just random chunks of mud in the yard. That's funny. Oh yeah, we also got rock for down in the basement too. You see the two big piles right there? Hello, pallet of concrete. We need you. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. They're calling for potential of damaging storms coming, so let's hope we just get rain out of this and not get any bad wind or any other nastiness that may come with it. We're just gonna get rain. All right, here we have it, wrapped up in the saran wrap. We have 64 bags and whatever extra ones we have sitting up on top of it. I believe there's 3 more inside of the house. It is going to be extremely close when it comes to the amount of bags that we have. We should maybe have like 6, 8 extras when we get done. So we're gonna be pouring a lot here. I shouldn't say we, it's gonna be Justin and Roman. We got the mixer right here. It's got a 3/4 horsepower motor on it. We got it plugged in. So they'll flip the thing on, add a little bit of water, and it'll do all the automatic turning and mixing for them. Holy cow, I just about went down on that slippery mud. And then once it's at a consistency that a cement truck would have it at, that's literally what that is, just a little cement mixer. Then they can just tip it forward. They'll tip it right down into the hole that Roman already dug. That hole connects to the inside of the wall, which is right on the other side of the formed up area that Roman has right there.
Bit dry yet.
A little dry, a little dry.
Looked a little dry yet, didn't it?
Okay, now let's see how our new vibrator tool works. Stick it in there and then we just pull the trigger. Oh yeah, that thing's powerful, wow. Oh boy, starting to get dark, starting to rain a little bit more. We're kind of protected on this side of the house because the storm's going that way, so we're not really getting hit right here. But we are getting close to being full over here. We're gonna have to make our second form here in just a little bit. Concrete's right up there, so we'll slap a board up right here. We'll have to leave a little baby spot at the top so we can get our vibrator in to be able to get it all the way up underneath of this. But then we're almost done. Uh-oh. Hey, Justin, I think it's raining. Well, I suppose it's a good thing I'm down in the basement. Well, unfortunately, I think we got rained out. Looking inside of here, we had quite a bit of water running in. Look at this, on top, it's literally turning into a little puddle because our hole is just running right off the roof, right down into that. So Justin Roman threw the piece of plywood over the top of it. We are not done with the pour. I took a few pieces of rebar. I jammed it down inside of there. This concrete's gonna end up setting up. So we're just gonna have to have this rebar in here as the thing that is going to tie this last pour in once we're actually able to get back in here. So put in a bunch of pieces. We should be a-okay. It's not like there's a lot of weight right here on this side of the house. I mean, it's literally gone 100 years with this much foundation wall right here. So anything we put in there is going to be better than what we had before. And this should be more than ample enough. But man, look at that. It's just coming down out there. We're supposed to get like 2.5 inches or something like that, so that's a lot of rain. Look at all that water just coming in. That's what's coming off the roof. That was falling in the hole earlier, so you can just see it running right down. We're getting the little basement lakefront property right now. So you know what they say, when you're rained out from doing concrete and rained out from doing outside work, then you jump down into the basement, you grab a shovel, and you decide to do some digging. This area that's at the bottom of the stairs where we just poured our concrete, it's too small to be able to get the Dingo in here because they poured a foundation footer right here, and then we have the footer that we poured over there. It's too narrow to get the Dingo in, so we're gonna have to hand do this part. And luckily for us, it seems like it's actually working pretty good. We just have another 10,000 more shovels to go. Surprisingly enough, the shovel is working out very well. Just look how beautiful that looks. We're taking a nice 8 inches off in one clean swoop, and then we can throw it on the pile. Our pile is ever increasing in size, and honestly, we're starting to run out of a little bit of room right now. It did stop raining out, but we have a big lake out there, so we're gonna need to fire up that sump pump and drain all this water out, and then probably bring some of that sticky dirt up there and end up throwing it in on the ramp. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to get out of here with the skid loader because we'll get stuck. Once we do that, then we'll be able to take the Dingo and we'll be able to get this all cleared out of here. We have a little bit of grading that we can do yet with the Dingo. Basically everything behind the Dingo, but kind of the stuff between the poles, maybe a little bit right where I'm standing, but definitely over there. And then behind these poles, we're gonna have to hand dig because the Dingo can simply just not get around. And also, right now, with this weather that we're having, with all the rain and the humidity we have in the air, it is 79 degrees out. But notice how it's all foggy right now looking through the camera. The lens keeps fogging over, like if you were in the shower in the bathroom and the mirror fogs up, the lens is doing that. And Roman just washed his hands a minute ago and they were steaming. When we have cold water running through that, they were steaming, 79 degrees. And if you go, you can see your breath. It's got to be something with the humidity that we're sitting at, with the moisture in the air and the cooler air of the basement coming out. I don't know, but it's kind of cool. But anyway, I apologize for the foggy look. It's the humidity. I can't control that right now because the house is under construction. We got a hole in the side of the wall. But anyway, this room is now ready for a rock. Once we get the rock in here, then we'll be able to get all of our plumbing and everything, water mitigation, whatever we got to do. We do have one spot right here where we still need to pour a footer underneath of the wall. It's all ready to go. We just got to maybe form up a little board thing, be able to get some concrete in there. We have 8 bags of concrete left. So honestly, this little spot where we quit, we were probably going to be right down to the wire on using those 8 bags. Who knows? We maybe even would have ran just a little bit short. So maybe this was a blessing in disguise that we got the rain when we did, because I'm going to need to get more concrete because we don't only have this to pour and the footer over in the other room. We also need to dig down right here at the end of this wall. We got a little pour right there we need to do. And then we have a footer here. We just poured a footer over there. Right between it, we need to dig that out, and we still need to put a footer. We need to put a footer on this part of the wall right here. And then pretty much we will be done with the little footer pieces. I take that back. We have a lot to do over there yet, but that's going to be a whole nother project for a whole nother time, because that's quite a bit more surgery involved. But otherwise, we got this down to grade all the way through here. We got all that to get dug out yet, so we're not even going to worry about that right now. But this room's pretty much all ready to go on grade, or at least as good as we could get it, because we can't move those big foundation pieces, and we don't want to spend 5 hours ripping up just a little bit of concrete, so that way we can add this much more gravel. So they're close enough. Good enough for who it's for. This is day number 5 of us running the Dingo. We rented it for a week, so we have 2 more days left with it, and I think we're going to get done with everything we need it for. So with all of that being said, I would like to do a little bit more digging in that entryway, so that way we can be more prepared going into tomorrow and get more work done with the Dingo, so that way we can make sure everything is completed with that machine before we have to bring it back. But last week, my grandpa, my mom's dad, he signed his papers to stop his dialysis treatments. And he's been fighting this for a while, and he was in a lot of pain. And so he stopped his treatments, and he was brought into the care of hospice. And so over the last week, family had been going up to see him, and he seemed like he was doing really well. And they said that was the most he was talking the entire time. And he did end up passing. And so I guess my mom had a pretty rough day at work today, missing her dad. Sad about her dad passing away, which who wouldn't be? And so we're going to call a little bit of an early night, and we're going to go spend it together as a family. So I would encourage you guys to do the same as well. So this is all we got for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.